All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Gediminas, and this is the first of three-part training series about social media, right? Social media is one of the most effective tools right now to build your network marketing business. And of course, there's so many different things that you can learn about social media. So over the next 3 weeks, I'd like to help you to get fit in your business, right? Fit standing for Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. These are the three probably biggest platforms for network marketing right now, where we're seeing people getting really, really good results in their business. So this week, I'm going to talk about Facebook. Next week, I'm going to talk about Instagram. And then finally, on the third week, I'm going to talk about TikTok. So this way, you can start getting some ideas of what you could do on each of these platforms in order to find more customers, find more team members, generate more sales, and make more money, right? Because at the end of the day, probably you want to expand your team and grow your business as fast as possible. And social media is one of those tools that can really, really help you to speed up the process. So let's go ahead and see what we've got today for today. So the first thing I wanted to share with you is how to make a profile makeover. So if you're on Facebook, you have a profile like this, and there's three things that I would recommend you to pay attention to and improve if you can. So the first thing is your profile picture. Your profile picture, right? Your profile picture should only be you. It shouldn't be cats and dogs and flowers or whatever, right? It should be your face as close to the camera as possible, right? Because remember, here on your profile picture is quite big, but when you're going to be posting or commenting on other people's posts, that profile picture is going to be super small, right? So you want to make sure that your profile picture stands out, that it's easily visible and clear, who you are. If you want to make a profile picture like the one you see that I've got on my profile, where you can put a different kind of background behind you, there's an app for that. An app is called Photo Room. So if you download an app called Photo Room, you can quite easily, with few steps, upload any photo of yours. The app will remove the background, and then you can choose whatever color background you want for your photo to stand out more. The second thing you should take a look at is your cover photo. So this is the big photo behind your profile photo. And this is like the biggest virtual real estate you have. And you can actually use it quite wisely to put more information on it, right? So, most people just have a random photo on their cover photo, but this is actually the place where you can tell people more about yourself. What is it that you do? Or even give them some sort of a call to action. Like, for example, on my cover photo, you see there's a little thing that says click here. And if somebody clicks on my cover photo, then it opens up the text that is attached to the cover photo, which gives them some information, right? So you can put whatever you want in there and to sell yourself slightly, right, in your cover photo. So when somebody comes onto your profile looking at your cover photo, they should straight away know how you could be useful to them, right? How you could help them. And then finally, your bio or your intro, right? So that's the little bit of text you have straight after your profile picture. And that's, again, the first thing that people see when they come to your profile. So again, in your intro or bio, you should straight away tell people how you can help them, right? Like, very often I go on people's profiles and I see things like mom of two, love to travel. No, even though that's true and that's amazing, nobody cares. Like, unfortunately, nobody cares because everybody's listening to the same radio station. What's in it for me? What's in it for me? What do I get out of that? And because you're mom of two and you love traveling, that doesn't really benefit me, does it? But if I come onto your profile and I see something along the lines, I help people make extra income, or I help people lose weight, or I help people, smell great, or whatever, right? Now I know how you can help me, how you can be useful to me, right? And also in your bio, you should put your link tree link. Right. So if you go on Google and put in Linktree, it will give you a service where you can create your own link. And under that link, you can put all your important links. So you can put your online shop link, you can put your referral link, you can put whatever links you have. Maybe you have, your Instagram profile, you have your TikTok, you have your YouTube channel, or whatever. You can put all the links inside of the Linktree link. So when people click this link on your profile, it will take them to your link tree, and there they will see all of your links nicely in one place, and they can choose whatever they're interested in, right? So again, that's a great place to put your link so that people can click on it and find out what is it that you want them to find out about you. So if you do these free things, that will be a great start for a profile makeover, so that when people come to your profile, they're actually attracted and not scared away from your profile, right? If it's not neat, or if it has some random information, then you might not look as professional as you want to look. Okay, so when it comes to building your business on Facebook, there's two main strategies, and that is prospecting and marketing, right? So you can either build your business through prospecting, which is you looking for people, you contacting people, or you can do it with marketing, right? Which is you putting some content out there and then people come to you, right? So one side is, you're looking for people, other side are people looking for you. Prospecting is very fast, right? After this training, you could send out 50 messages and find your next customer or next team member. While marketing, it can be quite slow, right? Because you might put a video on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever, and you don't know when somebody will see it. You don't know when somebody will reach out to you, and if ever, right? So that's a little bit slower. Prospecting is very active. You have to be actively sending messages, calling people, etc. While marketing is passive, right? You're putting out posts, you're putting out videos, you're doing stories, and you're just waiting for somebody to see and respond to that. And again, prospecting is something that you control. You control how many people you will reach out to. While marketing, you don't exactly control it, right? Like I can put a video on Facebook, I can control that bit, but I don't control how many people will see it. I don't control how many people will actually respond to it, right? So it's a little bit different. So at the beginning, at least, I recommend for you to do 80-20 rule, meaning spending 80% of time prospecting and 20% of time marketing, right? So this way you are allocating your time in a correct way. And over time, your marketing will start attracting more and more people to you. So first of all, let's have a look at prospecting on Facebook. What is it that you can do on Facebook in order to prospect people? Well, one thing you can do is birthdays, right? You can congratulate people with birthdays. Facebook tells you every day. If you didn't find that notification, in the Facebook search bar, you can just type in birthdays and it will show you all people who are celebrating their birthday on that day, right? So you can send them a private message just saying, hey, wishing you a happy birthday, etc., right? And then once they respond, you can start a conversation with them, right? Also, new friends or followers, right? So anybody who sends you a friend request or follows you on Facebook, you can start a conversation with them. Again, you can message those people, thanking them for adding you, and then try to find out more about them. Maybe they might be interested in your product. Maybe they might be interested in your business opportunity. Also, you can do follow-up on Facebook, right? Meaning that people who you have spoken to 6 months ago, a year ago, 3 years ago, you can start conversations or continue conversations with those people and keep in touch, right? Because somebody who might have told you a year ago that they are not interested in earning an extra income from home, today might be in a completely different situation, right? So this way you can actually follow up with them and check up on them. Just say, hey, Tom, I know when we spoke a year ago, you was not looking for an extra income, but maybe something changed, right? And just reach out to those people. You'll be surprised how many people's situations have changed. Also, you can prospect through likes and comments. So first of all, people who like or comment on your posts, you can reach out to them personally, right? By private message. And you can like and comment other people's posts. This way, getting their attention, right? And maybe they will reach out to you. Also by commenting on stories. So those little stories you see at the top of Facebook, you can actually comment on them. But what's great about commenting on a story is that a person doesn't get that as a comment on a post, but it comes as a direct message, right? As a DM. So when you comment on somebody's story, they get a message, with your comment and the story that you commented on, right? So this way, it's very easy to start conversations with people because once you commented on their story, especially if you use the formula compliment plus question. So let's say you see your friend is cooking in a story, right? You could compliment them and say, wow, looks delicious. Where did you get the recipe? Right? So it's a compliment plus a question. Or maybe you see your friend traveling somewhere. So again, you can comment, wow, beautiful views. Where are you guys at? Right? So when you comment on a story in this way with a compliment plus a question, almost 100% of people will respond to your comment in a direct message. And this way you start conversations. Remember, the more conversations you have, the more clients and team members you will find. It just is like that, right? Our business is a bit of like a game of numbers. You never know who might be interested and who will join your business. But the more conversations you have with people, the more people will respond positively, right? You can also prospect through groups, right? And I will show you later on how to do that on groups, how to find people on groups. But again, it's a great strategy because you can join groups, first of all, by location. For example, you could join groups in London, you could join groups in Dubai, you could join groups in Chicago, etc. Right? So you could find by different location groups, right? And find people who are local to those areas. You can also find groups by interest, right? So for example, health, or beauty, or cosmetics, or makeup, etc., or by interests like hobbies, right? Like for example, running, or movies, or whatever, right? So you can meet people who have similar hobbies, similar interests like you. And of course, you can also congratulate new group members, right? And this is a great strategy if you want to have a lot of conversations with people, right? So let me quickly show you how that would look like, right? So what you do, you go ahead onto Facebook, right? And then you can find any group just by typing into the search. So let's say Dubai, right? Because right now I'm building my team in Dubai. So you enter Dubai, you click groups, and then let's say you click on like a public group, right? So if it's a public group, you don't even need to join it, right? You will straight away see people. So you click on people, right? And it will show you people who are in that group. And one of the things it will show you new to group, which means people who just joined that group, like joined a minute ago, joined 3 minutes ago, joined 3 minutes ago, right? Now, what I could do, I could go ahead and message these people, right? Like Kamran or Malik, right? I could go ahead and message these people saying, hey, Malik, congratulations on joining the Dubai buy and sell group, right? How are you doing, right? Now, that person doesn't even know that I'm not an admin of that group. And I don't even really have to be an admin to congratulate somebody on joining that group. Do you get it? Like there's 108,000 people on this group, right? So it's endless conversations that I can have just by messaging these people and congratulating them on joining the group. And who will be offended if they just join the group, right? Maybe it's mom's group, maybe it's buy and sell group, maybe it's whatever group, right? If they just join that group and I go, hey, nice to see you join this group, congratulations, blah, 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 start a conversation, most people won't be offended, at you congratulating them and saying hello and welcoming them into a group, right? And it's an easy way to start conversations. Just imagine how many conversations you could start in different groups, whether that's London group or, New York group or Miami group or whatever, right? Like you could be joining a bunch of different groups and just welcoming people who joined that group, right? So let's get back into the slides and see what else we've got there for you. Right. So when you're doing prospecting, it's really some of the most basic skills of network marketing that my mentor, Eric Warrior, teaches, like finding people, inviting people, presenting, follow up, and closing, right? So these 5 skills are in his book, Go Pro, right? And he teaches these skills. Now, these are very important skills also on Facebook, right? Finding people, inviting people, presenting, follow up, and closing, right? So finding people, we sort of already talked about that, right? So you could find people from your friends list, you could find people on groups, you can find people through commenting and liking, etc., right? So it's not very difficult to find people, right? Especially if you go on groups like the one I just showed you that has 180,000 people, right? Then the next step is to invite a person, right? Now, one of the easiest way for me personally to invite people to take a look at my business is by asking them if they would be open and giving them a chance to say no. So it would sound something like, hey, Tom, thanks for accepting my friend request, or nice to see you in this group, or whatever, however I found that person. Not sure if you would be open right now to earning an extra income, but I just wanted to ask if you would take a look at a short video about our company. And if you're not open, that's totally fine, right? So I'm asking that person if they're open, and I'm giving them a way to say no, right? I'm taking the pressure off of them, right? I'm not spamming them. I'm not sending them my video straight away, or I'm not sending them a presentation straight away. First of all, I'm asking them, would they be open? Would they be interested in taking a look, right? So this way they can either say, yeah, I would be interested, or no, thanks, I'm not interested. Totally fine either way, right? And if I reach out to enough people every single day, I'm going to find people who will be interested, right? Then step 3 is presenting. Now, like one of my mentors says, the best presentation you can do is the presentation that you don't do. So if you want your business to be duplicatable and more people to join your business, then you should use a tool to invite to present, right? So instead of you doing the whole presentation, maybe show them a video, right? So one of my favorite ways to do a presentation is to send somebody the video, right? So if you go on YouTube and just type in FM World presentation, you will find plenty different presentations, some of them made by me and by other people, right? That you can use. You can just send somebody that presentation and say, hey, once you've seen that presentation, let me know and I'll show you how to get started, right? So this way it makes your life easier, because you don't need to do the presentation all the time. And plus, it makes the business more duplicatable, because that person that you send the video, they will think, I could send the video to other people. But if you do the presentation yourself, they might think, you know what? I couldn't do this. This is too difficult. I couldn't learn this whole presentation, and I'm not very good at speaking, so I don't know if I could do this business, right? But anybody could send a video. You get what I'm saying? So that's presenting. The number 4 is follow up. Now, even though you're sending the presentation to somebody and you're saying, hey, once you've seen it, let me know and I will show you how to get started, a lot of people are not going to reach back out to you. A lot of people are not going to message you, right? Because they forget, life gets in the way, etc. So it is your job to follow up with those people, to message them the next day and say, hey, Mary, did you watch the presentation I sent you, right? And if they say yes, then you go into closing. And closing is very, very easy. It's nothing special. It's not difficult. All you do is you ask the person, what did you like the best from the presentation, right? So you want to find out, what did the person like? Maybe they like the products. Maybe they like the earning, extra income side. Maybe they like the fact that they can be independent. Maybe they like the fact that they can help people, right? Whatever it is, ask them, what did they like about it? And then ask them, why is that important? Right? So I might ask, hey, what did you like from the presentation? And the person might say, well, I like the fact that you can earn extra income. Well, why is that important for you right now? Well, this thing is coming up, my daughter's wedding or whatever, I want to take a trip or whatever, right? They're going to share with me some ideas, some of their goals. Why is it important for them? And then I might ask, what else did you like from it? Well, I like the products. Awesome. Are these the type of products that you think you would be using? Yeah. And do you think you would find customers to buy these products? Yeah. What am I doing? I'm basically getting that person to sell the business to themselves in the closing process, right? And then finally, I will just say, sounds like you're ready to join. And usually the person will say, yeah. And then we're going to go ahead and register them. If they say, no, I'm not yet ready to join, then I might ask them, do you have any questions before you're ready to join? Right? Because they might have some questions, they might be not clear about something, etc. So I might need to answer the questions before we're going to go ahead and register that person, right? So that's basically the 5-step process: finding, inviting, presenting, follow-up, and closing. Okay, so now let's go into the second strategy, which is marketing, right? So prospecting was the active strategy where you are reaching out to people. Marketing is where you're putting some content and you're attracting some people too. And again, if I asked you, would you like to attract people too? Like, would you like people to come to you and say, hey, I'd love to join your team. Hey, I'd love to buy your products. If you would like to, drop 1 in the comments. Okay, so how could we attract these people? Well, We could do a live video. That's one of the most effective ways to reach more people and to position yourself on Facebook. We could place a recorded video, right? So we could record a video with our phone and just upload it once it's recorded if we don't want to do a live video. We could put stories, right? That's quite effective. And you can do a story video, or you can put a picture in a story, or you can put some text. We could also make a post where we put a picture and some text, like it could be long text or just a short text. We could just put a picture, right, without any text. We could also just put text without any picture, like a little article, like a little blog, right? And then we also going to be able to do Facebook Reels. Now, some of you probably have already heard about Instagram Reels, but in USA, they already have Facebook Reels, right? It hasn't come to Europe yet or many other countries, but with time, we are hoping that the whole world will have Facebook Reels. And as soon as that is available, I very, very, very strongly would like to encourage you to start using them. Because I promise you, if you're going to use Facebook Reels, once they appear, it will help you to really blow up your social media. It will help you really attract a lot more people, get noticed by a lot more people. You'll get a lot more friend requests and a lot more followers if you start using that as soon as that becomes available in your country. I can't wait until they are available in Europe so I can start using them. And all I'm going to do, I'm just going to repurpose the content from TikTok, from Instagram Reels, and I'm just going to be uploading them onto my Facebook Reels. So as soon as that becomes available, do yourself a favor and start using them, because it's going to be huge. Right. And one of the things, if you really want to get more results on Facebook, is to start talking louder about what is it that you do, right? Is to start being noticed by other people, right? So you have to remember that social media, when we're building business on social media, before we're in the business of selling our product, or before we're in the business of recruiting people into a team, we are first of all in the attention business. We first of all have to grab people's attention before they might be interested in our product or our business, right? And unless you're talking louder, and I don't really mean louder as in, like the level of the sound, I mean being more visible. Unless you do that, people won't even notice you, right? So like one of the very successful businessmen, Grant Cardone, says, best known is better than best. So you might have the best product in the world, the best marketing plan in the world, you might be the best person in the world, but if nobody knows about you, well, that's not going to help a lot of people, is it? But the more known you become, the more people you can help, the more you can sell, the bigger the business you can build. So you have to ask yourself a question: are you a secret agent? Because there's a lot of people in network marketing who are secret agents. They do network marketing, they buy products every single month, etc., but nobody knows about it. They're talking so quietly about it that nobody even knows. Somebody said, if network marketing was illegal and somebody sued you, took you to court, for some people would be not enough evidence to convict them that they even do network marketing, right? So they are so quiet, they're so silent about it that they wouldn't even be able to find evidence about the fact that they do network marketing. You know what I mean? So you have to start talking louder. You have to first of all introduce yourself to your audience, not just once, constantly. Every month or so, you should introduce yourself to your audience. You could do a Facebook Live, or you could just write a post, but you should introduce yourself to your audience and let them know how you can help. You see, some of you will think, well, all of my friends on Facebook already know what I do. They all know that I sell perfumes and I do this, that, and the other. Are you sure? If I went onto your friends list and took 50 of your friends randomly and asked you, what do each of them do for a living? Would you be able to tell? The chances are not for all of them. Exactly the same with your friends. Not all of them know what is it that you do. Even though you posted, on Facebook, even though you did some lives or whatever, not everybody saw it, right? So you have to make sure that it's totally clear. How is it that you help people? How can you save them money? How can you help them? How can you help them make more money, etc.? You should be all the time, every month or so, do a post or a video where you say, hey guys, a lot of new people added me as a friend, a lot of new people followed me over the past month, so I just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Gediminas, and this is how I help people. So I help people to earn extra income from home, and I coach them and I train them how to do that. And I also help people with great quality perfumes, cosmetics, cleaning products, coffees and teas, food supplements, etc. And I can do a video. It doesn't have to be very long. It can be just a couple of minutes, reintroducing myself to my audience, right? So reminding my audience in a way also about what is it that I do, right? But because unless you do that, they're going to forget about you. Think about, companies like Coca-Cola. Everybody knows what Coca-Cola is. So why do they keep advertising? Because otherwise you will forget about them. Otherwise you'll go and buy Pepsi, right? That's why they keep advertising. Same thing we should be doing. We should always be very active on social media, right? And what you need to do is also increase the quantity, not just quality. A lot of people are learning how to make a better video and how to write a better post and how to make more beautiful pictures. And that's all fine. That's all great and necessary, right? But we don't have to just focus on the quality. We also need to focus on the quantity. We need to start doing more. We need to start being visible more. I'm very privileged that I get to follow leaders of this industry, of network marketing industry, who are earning $1 million a year. Some of them earning even $1 million a month. And guess what I noticed? These people are prolific. They post a lot. They do a lot of videos, a lot of stories, a lot of posts, right? To stand out from the crowd, to grab your attention, right? So my advice for you, my tip for you, my homework for you is to double it. If you've been doing one post a week, start doing two. If you've been doing one video a month, start doing two. If you were posting one story a day, start doing two or more, right? Start increasing the quantity of your posts so that you stand out from the crowd. So what are you going to be? A secret agent or a known business person? If you want to be known, you have to be doing prospecting. You need to be reaching out to your friends. You need to be starting as many conversations as possible. If you want to be visible, then you need to be posting. You need to be doing posts, videos, stories, lives, etc. Otherwise, you won't be known, you won't be visible. Unless you're talking to people, unless you're posting on your Facebook, you will miss out. You will not get as many customers or as many team members as you could have gotten if you did those things. So you need to ask yourself, what is your daily method of operation? Or what is your daily plan of action? Do you have one? If you haven't got one, I would highly recommend you to make a note of that right now, somewhere in your notebook. And after this training is finished, make yourself a plan. What is it that you're going to be doing every single day on your social media? What's going to be non-negotiable? What's going to be your minimum standard? Where not a day going to go by without you doing that thing on Facebook. And if you don't have a daily plan, if you don't have a daily method of operation, I can predict that you're not getting very good results. I can predict that you're not making very good money, because basically you're looking at this still as a hobby. You're looking at this as just something you do when you feel like it. When you start looking at this as a business, as a job, even better, right? Where you every single day you have to do certain actions, that's when you're going to start getting better results. And understand that you're just one person away from a breakthrough. You're just one person away from a breakthrough in your business, not 1,000 people away, just one person away. Because think about it. Let's say you go ahead and recruit one person. Let's say you message 50 people, 100 people, 200 people, and finally you find one who joins your team. Now, they say an average person knows about 200 people. And I think that was before social media. Now most people know more people. But imagine that person knows 200 people. And you tell to that person, look, with time, you're going to learn everything there is to know about our business. You're going to learn how to sell. You're going to learn how to recruit. You're going to learn how to be a leader. You're going to learn how to crack the social media code and all of that. But right now, the only thing you need to know is how to introduce your people to me. I'm going to be doing the presentations. I'll be answering the questions, and I will help to sign them up under you into your team. All you have to do is just bring them and introduce them to me, right? Maybe physically or on Zoom or on Messenger or whatever, right? All they have to do is just go, hey, I want to introduce you to my leader. Hey, I want to introduce you to my sponsor, right? That's all they have to do. And imagine that one person brings their 200 people to you, not all at once, right? One by one. And let's be conservative. Out of those 200 people, let's say you recruit 10. Now, those 10 people know another 2,000 people. And let's say you say to them the same thing. Hey, look, you will learn everything, but before you learn everything, start introducing people to me, start bringing people to me. Let's do some freeway calls, right? And you just get on Zoom, on Facebook Messenger, or on Instagram, right? And you can just add 3 people and speak, the 3 of you, a video call, right? And that person introduces their friend to you, and you do the presentation, you explain the business, you share your story, right? And maybe out of those 2,000, you recruit another 100. Now that 100 knows another 20,000 people. Can you see where I'm going with this? Just one person can totally transform your business. But you have to remember that all-important question: who do you know? Very often people look at a person that they recruit as a final stop. Well, I've recruited John, so that's it. I have John in my team, right? Why doesn't John work? Right? Why doesn't John do more, right? But actually, John is just the doorway to even more people. And instead of waiting until John starts doing something, why not encourage him to say, hey, just introduce people to me. I will do the work. I will help you. And I know once your team is huge and you have hundreds of leaders, etc., you won't be able to physically do that with every single person. But if you're just getting started, if your team is still small and you want to make more money, you want your team to grow faster, this could be a strategy. It's called tap rooting. It's called tap rooting because you keep going down. You keep going in depth with each person that you recruit. And imagine if you have 2 people like that, 3 people like that, who start bringing their people to you. You'll have presentations all day long and you'll be recruiting people left, right, and center. But sometimes you need to encourage your team members just to do the simple action of introducing people to you. Okay, let's talk a little bit about creating your brand. Since on Facebook, your profile is your brand. Your presence on Facebook is creating your brand, your reputation, right? So how could you create your brand, and what should you think about when creating your brand on social media? So number one is think about what is your long-term mission. Because if your mission is just to make some extra cash, well, that's not very inspiring, is it? But if you understand your long-term mission, if you think about what is it, what's your purpose on this earth? Why are you here? What would you like to accomplish in your life, right? That probably will be bigger than just pay the bills, than just make some, extra cash, right? And when you have that long-term mission in mind and you start sharing it, that's when you start building a brand that people can follow. Think about who is your target audience, right? Maybe you are a stay-at-home mom with small children, and most likely your target audience is going to be other stay-at-home moms, right? Because you know their life, you know what they think about, you know how they talk, you know how to speak their language, right? So think about who's going to be your target audience, and don't say the whole world, right? Because even though, yes, the whole world can join your team, you're probably going to have a target audience. And most likely your target audience is going to be people like you, people who are similar to you, right? Also analyze your colleagues or your competition. Now, I don't really like the word competition because I don't think we compete with anybody. I think there's enough customers for all companies. I think there's enough business partners for all companies. There's enough money for everybody. I have that mentality of abundance instead of mentality of lack, right? So I don't think that people from other companies or leaders from other companies are my competitors. I don't look at it that way. More for me, they're like colleagues. We're in the same profession and we can learn from each other, right? So analyze what your colleagues do, right? Follow successful people on social media, follow successful leaders who you know are making good money, and see what is it that I do. What type of stories do they post? What sort of videos do they do? What sort of lives do they do? How do they behave? How do they pose in the photos, etc.? And think, what could I use from that? What could I use for my business? What could I use for my product from what I learned from that person? And you might even include that in your daily plan, right? Maybe 10-15 minutes to spend seeing what successful people do, right? Maybe have 10 people who are successful that you follow, and then every day for those 10-15 minutes, you just go and check their profiles and see what did they post today, what sort of stories they did, what sort of videos, what sort of photos did they share, what sort of text did they write, and think, what can I learn from them? You don't have to just steal their text or pictures, blatantly, but you could learn something from them, right? You could adapt it to yourself. And then identify your unique voice. There's thousands of people working with this company. Why should somebody join you? There's thousands of people working with this company. Why would somebody buy from you? What is it different about you? What is unique, right? How do you stand out from the crowd? How will you stand out, right? And think about what is your unique voice, and don't be afraid of being different. I know when we grow up, when we're in the school, etc., we all sort of encouraged to conform. We all encouraged to be same as everybody else, not to stand out. Don't be crazy. Don't be the black sheep or whatever, right? But in social media, actually the most effective people, the people who get the biggest results, who are different from most people, who are standing out, who attract people to themselves, right? So focus on those on your key characteristics, right? Think about what is it about you that's already great, right? Like we all have weaknesses and we all have strengths. So focus on those strengths and show them off, and really home in on them and put them on social media, right? So people can see. If you're great at public speaking, then do more videos, right? If you're great at writing texts, then write more text, right? If you're great at taking pictures, then do more pictures. Whatever is it that you're already good at, focus on that and put that across. And show your authentic me. It doesn't just have to be all the time business. It can be your hobbies. It can be how you have fun. It can be your personal development. It can be different things about your journey, right? But show that authenticity, sometimes even vulnerability, right? Don't be scared of sharing your story, of sharing things that are happening in your life or have happened in your life, because that again will make you more authentic. And then focus on giving value and serving your audience. For some of you might have problem with that word serve. Oh, I'm not a servant to anybody, right? But it's the best strategy if you want to attract more people, if you want people to become your fans, if you want people to help you and support you, then they have to see how you giving them value, how you're serving them, right? If you do that, you'll see how people will start helping you build your business on social media. And then finally, collaborate with other people. If you could do a live together, maybe on StreamYard, it's a great platform. You can get it for free. It's called StreamYard. And then you can do interviews with people. You connect on, you check your microphones and cameras, and then you click go live, and you go live on Facebook onto your profile, or you can go on your business page, or you can go live in a group, right? Whatever, or even few locations at the same time, right? And you could do, interviews with some people, with your team members or with your leaders, or with a customer who might give a testimonial, or a team member who might give a testimonial, right? So there's so many different ways how you could collaborate on social media with other people, and this way even attract more people to yourself. And one of the things to understand is a triangle of influence. Now, as you can see at the base of it, and that's the largest group of people, is people who don't know you. So that's like most people in the world. They don't know you unless you're like Kardashian, right? Most people don't know about you. Then slightly smaller group is people who have heard of you, right? So maybe that's like your work colleagues, or maybe people who used to go to the same school as you, etc. They might have heard of you, right? Then even smaller group is people who you have influence on. So maybe these are your family members, your friends, your work colleagues, closer people to you, right? And you have certain influence on them, right? Maybe if you say something, they might listen to that, etc. And then the smallest group at the very top is what they call fans. And fans are people who are really into you, who really trust you, who really believe in you, who really follow you and support you, right? And these people usually will help you on social media, share your posts, like and comment, and do things like that, right? And at the bottom, you see this line, and it says time required to sell. So as you can see, for people at the bottom of the triangle, people who don't know you, takes the longest time to sell to that person, because they don't know you, they don't like you, and they don't trust you. But the higher up we go through this triangle, at the top, we see the line is shortest, right? So it's the quickest way to sell to somebody. So your goal should be, through the content that you do, through the posts and stories and lives, etc., to build as many fans as possible, to build that emotional connection with your audience, so that people would trust you, like you more, and would be much more easier and quicker to buy from you or join your team, because they already trust you, because they already like you. So what should we post about? What should you talk about in your videos or your posts or your stories, etc.? Well, there's variety of things that you could talk about. You could talk about personal development. Now you might say, well, but Gediminas, I want to sell some perfumes. I want to build a team. Why would I speak about personal development? Well, let me ask you, what type of people would you like to attract to your team? People who invest in themselves, people who do personal development, or people who are not interested in personal development? I want people in my team who do personal development. That's why I talk about personal development, so that I would attract more people who are interested in personal development. You could talk about business, sales, leadership, recruiting, basically all the skills required in network marketing business. Why? Because there's a lot of people who used to do network marketing. Maybe somebody did network marketing 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and they didn't get the result because nobody taught them how to recruit, how to sell, how to do social media. So when you start doing videos and posts with tips about how to do all of these things, a person might look at your post and go, oh my gosh, this is what I was missing when I tried network marketing 10 years ago, when I tried network marketing 5 years ago. If I joined her team, then maybe she will teach me all of these things and I will finally get the result, right? So this way you can attract people who didn't get results in network marketing, who can join your team now and actually start getting network marketing results. Number 3 is tips, advice, and facts, right? So we have, different products. We have perfumes or cosmetics or cleaning products or food supplements, etc. So there's so many different tips and advice and facts that we could share, right? We could share tips about weight loss. We could share tips about skincare. We could share tips about perfume. We could share tips about this, that, and the other, right? And all that it does, it attracts people who are interested in those topics. And if they're interested in those topics, they might also be interested in buying your product, right? And then also company-specific trainings, right? You could do specific trainings about FM World, right? About the marketing plan, about the incentive programs, about our products, etc. So that again, when somebody is looking for information about our company, you are the person who they find, you are the person who they message, right? So again, you could do that. And if, again, your hobbies and passions, if you love something, like you're a total geek, on football, you're totally into running or traveling or whatever, right? You could be sharing your passion. You could be talking about it, and again, attract people who have similar hobbies, similar passions, right? And this way they, straight away, you'll have something to talk to them about, right? And that could lead into talking about also your business opportunity or your products. So a lot of work on social media is about building that funnel, right? Filling up that funnel with as many people as possible, right? And first step in building that funnel is being discovered. Getting people to discover you. And one of the easiest way to do that is through educational posts, through posts that give some tips, some advice, some value, right? Because these are the posts that people don't mind sharing, etc. And that's how more and more people discover you. The second type of posts helps you to get people to like you. And these are personal posts, right? It could be posts about your family, about your hobbies, about your likes, about your free time, about your traveling, etc., right? About your exercise routine, gym, and things like that. Then number 3 is posts that help people to start respecting you. And these are motivational posts, posts about personal development, etc., right? Those posts get people to respect you and respect your mindset, respect the way you think, right? Because you're positive, you're upbeat, you're not negative like everybody else. And then finally, type number 4 that helps people to communicate with you is engagement posts. The type of post that you ask people for their opinion, the type of post that you ask people to comment or like or share or whatever, right? Those are the posts that start engagement and communication between you and those people. And all we want from this funnel is that more customers, team members, and fans would come out from that funnel, right? So a lot of people might come into that funnel, but only few team members and customers and fans will come out of it, right? So the more people you load into that funnel, the more people you'll have at the other end. So these are the tips, guys, that I wanted to share with you today about Facebook. So that's week 1 done. And then next week, we're going to be talking about Instagram, and I'm going to share with you a bunch of tips for Instagram. And then the following week, we'll talk about TikTok, because TikTok is also becoming a huge platform in network marketing, and leaders are using it very actively to get some great results. And now, if you have some questions, I will go ahead and answer your questions too.